This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. Ned Soltz is an author, an editor, educator, and consultant on all things related to digital video. He's also a contributing editor for Digital Video Magazine, a moderator on Two-Pop and Creative Cow forums, and a regular correspondent here on The Buzz. Hello, Ned. Welcome back.
Hello, Larry. It's good to be back, and somehow I am getting feedback here. This is the first time we've attempted this. I think I'm okay right now. Good. I'm muted. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you really well. Can you get feedback? Because I'm talking over Larry, and we're actually talking at the same time.
Oh, that's what's plausible then. Hello, Michael. Very disappointed that I'm not able to see you, but we'll rectify that in a few weeks at NAB.
I hope so.
I've seen him, Ned. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a really good idea. I really look awful, Ned. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this new Skype video format. As I tell everybody, I have a radio voice and a radio face to go along with that radio voice.
And by the way, yeah,
my rare live appearances.
This is your home in New Jersey, right? Is that where you're coming?
Yes, it is. This is my home studio we're coming
from.
from.
My gosh.
A lovely ceiling, by the way. It looks great behind you.
It is.
Yeah, with a little ersatz lighting in the last 5 minutes. Anything I could pull out of the bag.
You look good, Ned.
Ned, let's get right into it. Tell us about the new Sony FS7 camera.
Well, I love the new Sony FS7. I not only reviewed it, I actually bought it.
Wow!
And that to me really says something. That when I see a product that I really think is going to do the job for me, and then just coincidentally, I had the opportunity to write about it. Basically, I think it combines so many different aspects. What we have is a large sensor camera, which has such a wonderful form factor that it's really usable. And what I'm beginning to see right now is sort of large sensor quasi-ENG type of acquisition, where you can work this camera very, very carefully. And despite the shallow depth of field from a large sensor camera, it's very plausible to use it in that manner. And it's also plausible to use it in a very cinematic sense. Sony marketed it originally as a cinema verite camera. and indeed, that's what it is. So it's a baby F5 in many regards, with its 4K UHD internal right now. But by the end of the month, the new firmware 2.0 will be out, which will then allow actual 4K DCI in camera, which is a pretty amazing feat.
So you say it's a baby F5. Where does it fit in terms of price?
Well, it's about half the price of an F5.
Wow.
An
yeah,
F5
that's amazing. I mean, it's just incredible.
It is. It is at $16,000 for the F5, and I mean the F5 does have more than the FS7, but on the other hand, for $8,000, you're getting full 4K DCI right now within the camera. For another $2,000 for the back, that can enable ProRes, but it also enables the use of real batteries. It provides a counterweight for shoulder mounting, time code in, out, gen lock, but just even the base camera itself, recording to those XQD cards, where you have the choice of an XAVC Intra, an XAVC long cop, and even for legacy reality TV type production, a 50 megabit 422 MPEG-2 codec, which is really the darling of reality TV.
Grant in our live chat is asking that the shallow depth of field on the camera seems to be too much of a problem. How do you overcome that? The reason that he asks is he's looking for a small light camera that has zoom but doesn't have a real shallow depth of field. Is the depth of field going to be a limitation for focusing for run and gun?
Let's put it this way. If you're working with a lot of light, and you're able then to stop that lens down, and if you can shoot that lens at about an f8, you're not going to have that much of an issue with shallow depth of field. I mean, any more than people right now who are shooting Canon C300s. It's really very much the same situation. So it is plausible. You just have to watch your focus, learn to focus in zones and the like relative to your aperture. So I don't think it's that much of an issue, but certainly it's very different than shooting with your traditional CMOS smaller chip 3-chip camera.
In terms of the camera, how good is the audio with it?
I find the audio phenomenal. It's and right now, in fact, with the 2.0 upgrade, you'll be able to record 4 channels of audio. It has that MI multi-interface shoe, which right now can take the Sony UWP wireless microphone, which I also bought to go along with the kit, as well as that Sony on-camera dual XLR module they were selling for the A7S. So with that module or with the wireless microphone, you can have 2 channels of audio there, and you've got 2 XLR inputs, so you can actually record 4 channels of audio. So I think in terms of comparing it, for example, to my EX1, EX3, the preamps are far cleaner. So I can trust that audio a lot more on the FS7.
All right, well, let's shift gears. We've got the Sony FS7, but the other new camera that you reviewed recently was the Scion from AJA. What's your take on that?
Pretty amazing. Really. I mean, I am just floored at what manufacturers are able to do today at any kind of price point, whether it's $9,000 for the Scion, or, to change the topic slightly, just the new Alexa Mini for $36,000, and bringing that feature set of the Alexa down to a price that is competitive in that level of the market. But what impressed me most about Scion was just the color science of the camera. That's what I wrote about. And then, actually, independent of that, there was an article that someone on Red Shark News had written about, very much the same thing, of really the ability with their color science to create wonderful looks within camera that might require far less grading than one recording just in a log or a raw format.
So what format does the Scion record in?
Scion records in all flavors of ProRes right now, but it's not a log. Essentially, they have a flat gamma. They have an expanded or an extended gamma for a couple of extra stops of dynamic range, and the ability to turn that gamma off completely, which gives you a dark image. It's not log, but it allows you to grade very much like that. And then there are varying look tonalities kind of to the camera. There's a neutral, there's a skin tone, and by experimenting with those various permutations and combinations within camera, it's plausible to create a very, very fine look. Again, within the limitations of the camera. Remember, this is an ISO 320 camera, so you've really got to light it indoors, not like the native ISO 2000 of an FS7 or something. Ned, it's back to the old days.
We only have a minute left or something like that, but are there any bad cameras out there? I know we have too many cameras. You keep saying that. We have too many cameras. But are there any bad cameras?
No.
I know that.
None of them are bad. It's the question of what works for you in terms of the ergonomics, the feature set, the price point, your intended use, and you've really got to try these things. Rent it, go to a VAR that carries all of these cameras, and really determine what's going to work for you in your given situation.
Ned, in the short period of time we've got left, the AJA camera is a brand new camera. Should we wait before buying to allow AJA to work the bugs out, or does it seem stable now?
Well, the 1.1 firmware did stabilize things quite a bit and took the EI up to 1,000 and the native ISO to 320. It's very hard to tell when do you jump into a camera. I'm an early adopter kind of person. I find, by the way, being an early adopter of the FS7, I've gotten business with it because fewer other people have them. So people are interested in renting it, or people are interested in having things shot with it. So I think in that regard, that was very a very good decision on my part.
And Ned, where can people go on the web to read your reviews?
Well, you can read that review on both of those reviews, www.creativeplanetnetwork.com, www.creativeplanetnetwork.com.
And you can meet Ned at the Super Meet at the desk taking tickets.
And that is Ned Soltz, contributing editor for Digital Video Magazine and reviewer par excellence of cameras. Ned, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Ned.
Thank you so much, guys. See you at IB.
See you soon.